Hi, I'm Chris with Carnival Cruise X, and this is episode 225 of Yakety-Yak straight from the Yak's mouth. John Heel, Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador, posts on his Facebook page where you can ask him questions. He answers the questions. We read the questions and the answers, and there's a lot of them. And we take the cool, the weird, the lies, the myths, and we put them here for you. So on today's episode, we're talking about I know you can't mount a fan on the ceiling, but can I put one on the wall? On Celebration, why can't men wear tank tops to brunch? Why are there no longer any scuba diving excursions? Does the zero proof package work at Java Blue? And can I bring a small scale on board?
And this is straight from the Yak's mouth.
All right, question one. This cruiser saw a post a while back where they said they're not allowed to mount the magnetic fans to the ceiling of the cabins. They wanted to know if it's okay to mount them to the wall. They usually do bring a magnetic fan with them on the cruise, but they want to know if you can't do it on the ceiling, can we do it on the wall just to get some airflow in the cabin? John said this is totally fine, but he does suggest you take it down when you are not using it. They're definitely not allowed on the ceiling. And that I totally agree with. So they're magnets, and it's on the ceiling. And if for some reason it detaches and falls down on your head, they're going to blame Carnival for it. So yeah, you can absolutely mount them on the wall. Which I have to look into one of those. We don't have a magnetic one. We do have a old school corded one, but that might be a good idea. But not all the ship's walls are magnetic, so I think I'll just stick with my old corded one. I'm old school. Question two. This cruiser was having brunch on the Celebration, and they were on the same ship in November, and one of their friends were told there's absolutely no tank tops allowed for men in the dining room. Today, they watched 10 people in tank tops go right by the host and get seated with no issues, and they wanted to know if the policy has changed. John said, no, the policy has not changed. They do not allow tank tops in the MDR at dinner, but they do allow them in the MDR for brunch. So if you like to get your brunch and you got your tank top on, you can absolutely do it. If you're going to dinner and you got a tank top on, you're absolutely not allowed to do it. So there you go. Speaking of like, if you like what you see and you enjoy cruising content, please like and subscribe. We would greatly appreciate that. Question three. This cruiser noticed on recent cruisers they've been taking that there's no longer any scuba diving excursions. Is this something Carnival has stepped away from, they asked? John said, yes. It's been this way for quite a few years. Because in most ports, they're unable to do it from a liability point of view and insurance. They might have a couple here and there, but for the most part, they are limited. So Carnival does a wicked good job vetting their vendors when it comes to excursions in ports. And if they're not meeting the criteria for safety, whether it be scuba diving or any other excursion on the ships, they will exclude those vendors from their excursions. So if you see one, you know they are properly vetted and it's going to be a good one. But for the most part, the scuba diving ones, they can't really find good vendors in their port of call, so they don't do them anymore. Question four. This cruiser wanted to know if the chair's zero proof package works at the grab and go section at Java Blue on the Excel class ships, or do they need to go to a bar to get a Coke or a bottled water? John said you can absolutely still purchase these from the coffee shop, and you can also get their milkshakes as well. So a lot of people don't know that on the zero proof, the milkshakes, non-alcoholic, because they do have some adult-themed milkshakes at their coffee shops. But Yes, you can absolutely get the water and the milkshakes at the coffee shops, and it is included in the Zero Proof Cheers package. Last question. This cruiser said they have to weigh themselves every day to determine how much medicine they need to take and want to know, can they bring a scale on board? John said, well, yes, you may. I don't I don't know. I don't know of a medicine personally that you have to weigh yourself every day because it's that fine of a dose. But if you do and you want to bring a scale on board, you most certainly can. Much like everything else, make sure it doesn't have a surge protector. Scales have surge protectors? Nah. Me. Just being silly. Anyway, that's been episode 225 of Yakety-Yak, straight from the Yak's mouth. Thanks for watching. Please take care.